The campaign against merit, performance, incentives, value creation, execution, and reward is underway with some ghastly attacks on Tesla's long-term future, and shareholders vote ahead of Tesla's 2025 shareholder meeting. And Tesla is fighting back first. Let's hear what Arse Lewis is urging Tesla shareholders to do.
I'm reading the Glass Lewis note, and they're worried about, I think, shareholder dilution, but just summarize why they're proposing and recommending voting against this comp package.
I can smell horse shit light years away, and my BS detector is going off like you would not believe. However, I'm going to let this play out first, and then we'll address the absolute absurdity of this false concern that is clearly a guise, a shield, from behind which Arse Lewis can attack Elon Musk and attack merit by pretending, well, actually, we're concerned about dilution. I'll tear this apart in a moment, but let's just hear what they had to say in full.
Yeah, I think you put the nail on the head there in terms of dilution being an issue. I think, and this goes back to sort of criticism that the judge in Delaware sort of leveled at the initial pay package that Tesla's board arranged for Musk.
Just wanted to make a quick correction, not a judge, but an activist pretending to be a judge, whose decision almost certainly will be overturned in the Delaware Supreme Court, that have also pulled apart.
Back in 2018, this is a case of a CEO who's already quite aligned with the future of his company by virtue of the substantial stake that he has in the company, and there's a question on the part of these proxy advisors of to what degree is it necessary or appropriate to hand over more control of this company and issue so many shares that would dilute the current shareholder base of Tesla.
I guess I should explain for those who don't know exactly what a proxy advisor is. Now, I already know the answer to this question, but I've prompted Grok. Hey Grok, do proxy advisors actually own shares in any companies for which they advise? E.g., do they have any skin in the game? Because what these folks do is shriek at actual shareholders of companies, you should vote this way on this upcoming matter. Here's how to proxy vote. Don't use your own brain or do your own thinking about what do you believe is best for the company in which you actually have some skin in the game, you own shares. No. Let us suggest to you how you should vote on company matters. We don't own the company, so we have no skin in the game, but we strongly advise that you vote this way. Why? Because we're an authority figure. We're proxy advisors. Bow down to us. Now, Grok has responded. Thought for a minute and 13 seconds. Note, by the way, it turns out that Arse Lewis is among the named proxy advisors. Now, we'll get to that in a moment. Here's Grok's response. No, proxy advisors, like Institutional Shareholder Services, also known as ISIS, and Arse Lewis do not own shares in the companies for which they provide voting recommendations or advice. You guys, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, will have heard me say trillions of times at least, if not quintillions, use your own fucking brain. Make your own decisions, bitch. This is really important. If you own Tesla stock, you own shares, literally fractions of the company. You own a portion of the company. You should be thinking about these things yourself and making your own decisions. So should all shareholders of said company. The correct response to recommendations from these so-called proxy advisors is fuck off, Karen. They say you should vote this way. You say fuck off, Karen. I'll think about that myself and make my own decision. Thank you. I want to skip ahead a little bit, just so you guys understand the business model of these Karens. Their business model relies on subscription fees from institutional investors, such as mutual funds, pension funds, hedge funds, for research, data, and proxy voting guidance. In some cases, like ISS, they also earn revenue from consulting services to corporations on governance matters. But this is allegedly separated by internal firewalls to mitigate conflicts. And here we go. However, they face criticism precisely because they lack skin in the game, meaning no personal financial stake in the outcomes of their recommendations, which can lead to misaligned incentives with actual shareholders. Final sentence is an absolute bell ringer. This absence of ownership is often highlighted in discussions about reforming the proxy advisory industry, as advisors don't bear the economic consequences of poor advice in the same way investors do. Quick little detour here. Alexandra Mers, posting the two largest proxy advisor firms in the US are Institutional Shareholder Services, the largest, and Ask Lewis & Co., the second largest, right? So, Ask Lewis, number 2, more ways than one, recommending Tesla shareholders against approving the 2025 CEO Performance Award to incentivize Elon Musk to not far off 10x the company's value. I'm losing track, look, 60x or so EBITDA, deploy 1 million robotaxis, 1 million humanoid robots, get 1 million FSD subscribers. I mean, come on. And of course, they don't have any skin in the game. ISS, also known as ISIS, according to Elon Musk. Tesla fighting back against some of their nonsense, but we'll get to that in one sec. First, on X, AJ provided a great summary. ISS has always tried to rock the Tesla boat, putting a summary. In 2018, they were against Elon's compensation package. By the way, that's the same compensation package that saw Tesla increase in value, give or take an order of magnitude in record time. In 2022, they were against re-election of certain board members. 23, against chair re-election. 24, against ratification of Elon's 2018 compensation after that insane activist pretending to be a judge fucked everyone over and spat in the face of Tesla shareholders, merit and democracy. And now in 2025, they're once again against Elon's compensation package. However, since ISS issued their first against in March 2018, Tesla stock is up, let's just round it, 2,000%. So ISS, no credibility, no common sense. It's almost as if they are ideologically opposed to merit. Oh wait, that's probably the truth. Wait, did I say that out loud? Yes, I fucking did. Now, before I get back to debunking this brain-dead dilution argument, which is, it's a fake argument. It's not the real reason. I'll explain why. Let's just finish off this Doomberg piece first.
Now, Tesla, Craig, has said that the Glass-Lewis recommendation is, quote, misguided in an X post, and they're talking about the recommendations attempting to override the mandate of our shareholders delivered to Elon and ignore the staggering financial results that were delivered under Elon's leadership. Just what is the argument coming from the business right now?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, you sort of at some points hear Tesla, talk about the idea that they're more than just a car company, and yet it's interesting that they sort of compare their performance versus other car companies, and they're, by virtue of doing that comparison, make themselves look awfully different from these companies that for a long time they've said we shouldn't be compared with those companies. So of course there is some reason to sort of celebrate the returns that this company has managed under Musk.
That was a very strange response when asked exactly how Tesla was responding to Ask Lewis. Anyway, whatever. That's the whole segment, apparently. So let's see what Tesla recently had to say in response to the recommendation from ISS. Then we'll get to Ask Lewis. ISS once again completely misses fundamental points of investing and governance. They recommended against compensation that shareholders have voted on twice before, and that Elon has already earned. Shout out to meritocracy. As well as the 2025 CEO Performance Award, where Elon receives nothing unless shareholders win big. Ready for the shots to be fired? ISS's unfounded and nonsensical recommendation against IRA proves how disconnected from reality they are. As Tesla's longest tenured independent director, IRA has created a governance framework that has allowed Tesla to achieve an astonishing total shareholder return increase of around 39,000% during his tenure. He embodies our high engagement board with hands-on leadership and effective governance with a focus on long-term value. It's easy for ISS to tell others how to vote when they have nothing on the line. Vote with Tesla on all proposals. P.S. Fuck off, Karen. I think I might have misread that last bit, but anyway, I think you guys get the point. Now, another post today following the Ask Lewis recommendations. ISS and Ask Lewis have recommended against Tesla's proposals time and time again since the 2018 CEO Performance Award was introduced. It's a good thing that our shareholders said, fuck off, Karen. I think I misread that again. Whatever. We'll just keep rolling. It's a good thing our shareholders ignored those recommendations. Otherwise, they may have missed out on our market capitalization soaring by 20 times from March 2018 to August 2025. Yeah, it's not 20%. 20 times. By the way, I've been there for that entire ride. 10 out of 10 would ride again. Now, Ask Lewis has followed ISIS and issued another misguided recommendation that again disregards the fundamental purpose of public companies and who they serve. The shareholders. God, this is so good, bro. They're absolutely assassinating these fuckfaces. These firms do not own Tesla. You do. Ask Lewis's one-size-fits-all checklists undermine shareholders' interests, including by opposing proposals designed to build long-term value at Tesla. The shortcomings of these proxy advisors are echoed by state and federal officials who are scrutinizing ISS's and Ars Lewis's practices, including by implementing laws that require their recommendations be based on the financial interests of shareholders. Which, by the way, I just had to jump in. Wait, what? They're not already? Implying a failure to do so in the past and presently. There we go. I jumped in too soon. Think about this for a moment. This means, as I record this, the recommendations from these proxy advisors today do not require their recommendations be based on the financial interests of shareholders, which creates a paved pathway for them to act against the financial interest of shareholders, but maybe in the interest of virtue signaling or the current thing, attacking merit, success. Hello? What? Shareholders have spoken twice on Elon's 2018 CEO Performance Award. These two Karens' recommendations attempt to override the mandate our shareholders delivered to Elon and ignore the staggering financial results delivered under Elon's leadership, elevating their rigid and brain-dead policies over shareholder value. Ars Lewis's recommendations on Ira and Kathleen are indefensible. Ira continues to drive major growth, having built an effective and tailored governance regime, and brings technical rigor to Tesla's toughest product and strategy calls. Kathleen has been a part of two of the most transparent governance processes in modern-day corporate America and brings decades of legal, operating, compensation, human capital, and management expertise critical to winning the AI talent war. Vote yes to robots, not robotic voting. Vote with Tesla on all proposals. So, as promised, let me explain the severe level of brain damage involved in the fake reasons pushed forward by Ars Lewis as to why they're voting against Elon's 2025 CEO Performance Award. Alleged concerns about shareholder dilution. Now, for a finance nerd, you'll already understand this, but for those who aren't, let me just make it really simple, right? In order for Musk to get compensated, Tesla will issue some stock options. Eventually, that results in more shares of Tesla existing and being awarded to Elon Musk. As a result of this, the percent of Tesla that you currently own is based on the number of existing Tesla shares. If there's more shares, your slice is slightly diluted. There's now more shares available. So your percentage ownership of the company might go from 0.00000013965% to slightly less than that. But intrinsic, directly tethered to these shares existing and you being slightly diluted, are the performance metrics which include Tesla's market capitalization increasing for the final tranche all the way up to $8.5 trillion. Even the very first tranche requires Tesla to reach a market capitalization of $2 trillion. I was going to go on a very long-winded rant about why arse face, arse clown, arse breath, what the fuck was it? Anyway, whatever. Why their fake reasons about concern about shareholder dilution made no sense. And then I remembered, hang on a minute. Grok can actually give me the exact numbers and present them, which is what we've just done. So, on screen now, feel free to pause and read it all, but here's a short story. If all 12 market capitalization milestones were to be achieved, the total dilution to Tesla shareholders would be 12%, but Tesla shareholders' holdings would still be worth approximately 7.6 times the initial value. Now, you do not need to be a math genius to see that Arseface do not have a leg to stand on with their fake reasons about concerns about shareholder dilution. If the end result is that your shares are worth, call it 7 times more than they were initially, regardless of dilution with that factored in, then this fake reason of dilution does not make any sense. Because even factoring that in, you're up 7x, call it, right? Makes no sense. But even that, let's look at every individual market cap milestone. We'll assume the starting point of 1 trillion because that's roughly where Tesla was when this was first proposed, and who knows, it could be by the time the shareholder vote is approved or not. First tranche requires Tesla to hit a $2 trillion market cap. This results in 1% dilution. But even at the very first milestone, factoring in dilution, Tesla shareholders would see their investment increase in value by 98%, nearly doubling. I'm not going to run through every single one of these, but you can see on screen now. Just look at the percentage increase. This factors in the so-called reason of dilution we're concerned. Fuck off, Karen. Get fucked, Karen. The very first tranche, Tesla shareholders factoring in dilution, value of their investment has approximately doubled. And at every tranche, we see a consistent theme. A massive, massive, massive increase in the value of the investment even after the so-called concerning dilution. You fuckfaces. This is what I meant when I said the so-called reasoning from Arseface made no sense. This so-called dilution is absolutely irrelevant. If the end result is the value of your investment after this so-called dilution is factored in, is it's up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, this so-called dilution is absolutely irrelevant. Therefore, dear Karen, fuck off. Can you guys understand? Ask Breath don't believe what they're saying. They're just virtue signaling. And they've conjured up a fake reason to pretend that they're concerned about in a pathetic attempt, a failed attempt, to justify why Elon bad. Don't approve the CEO Performance Award. We're concerned about dilution. Unbelievable stuff. You think they could have come up with a better reason than something that can be so clearly debunked? That's all they got to stand on. Pathetic, bro. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs.